I'm the father of 8 children and the husband of Marcia for the last 28 years. For the last 13 years, I've run a clinic for the working poor in our community. We don't take any insurance there. We just help those that have fallen through the cracks, those that don't have Medicaid, and those that do not qualify for Medicare. We've run it for the last 13 years and have helped the community, and many people come through. We see them in 2 or 3 minutes and are able to provide them a good service and a fast and quality service too. Been able to raise our 8 children and have proven that you don't have to charge an arm and leg to make a living in this country. The reason why I'm running is because I was looking at my kids and I was hoping that they would have the same future I had. But recent events have made me question whether it was going to be a reality. And I wondered at that time whether they would have the same opportunities that I had, and the concern came more into an impulse or a movement to serve. I wanted to serve my family, I wanted to serve my community, and it was more like a call to duty to help the children and help my community, and to sacrifice a job that I love for the political life. The reason why you should vote for me: I'm a fiscal conservative, I'm a social conservative, and I'm a political conservative. I believe in small business, small government, lower taxes, and a balanced budget. I'm pro-life. Okay. I'm pro-life, I'm pro-family, and I've been endorsed by the Kentucky Right to Life. I believe this is the greatest country in the world and the greatest country in history. Thank you. Our first order is to create jobs. It must be done by cutting corporate taxes. And we have to protect our jobs with fair trade practices by not setting a cap on wages, but allowing our people to work on production and encouraging profit sharing, especially those companies that we give the corporate tax breaks to. Also encourage our jobs by saying no to global warming initiatives like cap and trade, which sets me apart from Dan and Jack. These initiatives are job killers, nation killers, and coal killers. And also by reducing energy costs by responsibly developing our domestic natural resources. At the same time, I will support spending cuts across the board on domestic spending, which is out of control and is unrealistic to fantasize that we can sustain the current level of spending. There is no way that we can afford the current health care plan. It has to be scrapped and redone so that we can provide a reasonable plan for all that we can afford as a country. Additionally, we must support our Constitution, decrease the size of the government, protect our rights as citizens of this great United States of America. I want to emphasize that I oppose the health care bill with the 36 other Democrats that opposed it and said no. And I will be at the Tea Party today in protest of this health care disaster that they're being put upon us. Thank you. I wanted to address the Afghanistan war to start with. Our men and women in Iraq and Afghanistan did not go there in vain. And they did not give their lives or their time for a lost cause. And we need to finish this and set up a very strong government and democracy that it will stand the test of time. We need more ground troops like President Obama is doing. We need people on the ground so we can prevent and cut down the number of casualties that are occurring to the citizens in that country. And in order to do that, you can't do airstrikes to win a war. You have to have the troops on the ground to do it and to precisionally take out the enemy without killing too many of the citizens. I mean, I know you're going to with that, but I think the way we were doing it, we had a 60% increase recently in our civilian casualties, and that's why they've gone more towards a ground troop approach to the war. My guiding principles, I've been an advocate for the working poor in my community for many years. We've raised our 8 children in a self-sacrificing way, putting aside some of our income to help those who need our help the most, those that have been cast aside by the healthcare system. I've seen the faces of these people. They're afraid of going bankrupt, and they're not poor people. They're people with jobs and businesses who have diabetes or have had a heart attack, but they can't get insurance because it's $1,200 a month. And we can provide that coverage for them in a reasonable way other than this plan that we have. We can do it without breaking the bank. We can provide a ceiling for them that will keep them from going bankrupt, but yet provide adequate health care. The other thing that I want to talk about was to allow market forces to affect the healthcare system. It still works. You can apply market systems to the healthcare and bring those prices down. And part of it is everybody's walking around with Cadillac insurance, and people like myself who have the Volkswagen are paying for that Cadillac. And if we make it a more even spread across the board, well, everybody will pay for their, or be more sensitive to the cost of things. Then we'll begin to shop around a little bit, look for a cheaper price for a CAT scan or a prescription, go for the generic instead of the Cadillac, and that will bring the cost down by applying these market forces that are part of all of our great capitalistic society. Thank you. Okay. Basically, what I want to ask you is, what do we want from our candidate? That's what the question was. I know what I want. I want to live within our means, and I want to feel protected from our enemies, from without this country and from within this country. And I want to know what caused this mortgage crisis, and I want to know what caused the market crash in 2008. And I know that we want our freedom from an oppressive government and from burdensome taxes. And we want our liberty to make a decent living. We want our liberty to choose our own health care. And we want our liberty to choose our own pathway. As your senator, I will promote a real jobs bill. I will promote secure borders and promote a balanced budget. Now, I don't seem to understand how you can believe in global warming and still support Kentucky coal. We have to have a consistent attitude towards energy policy, one that works. I don't see that making a high-speed train system is a good thing. It seems like just another black hole for all of our federal dollars to pour down into. Now we need someone like myself who will listen to both sides of the aisle and mix with both sides of the aisle. Talk to them, see what their ideas are, not be afraid to go see what they have to say, what the other side has to say, because they do have good ideas. We need someone like myself who can talk to both sides and be an advocate for the working poor in this community and for those that are underprivileged. And we need to stop asking our senators, what did you bring us? What did you bring us? We need to ask them, what did you save us? And how did you help this country? Those are the moving principles that we need to have in Washington. And we need to understand that we cannot spend our way out of this. We have to save our way out of this, and we need to get ourselves back on track, balance the budget, and get this country back into business. But we need to make sure that our kids, when they go to school, that they learn somehow, some way to incorporate their love for their neighbor, for their job. And if you're not serving your neighbor, you're not helping, you're not doing your job. And that's what we need to do with our school system in order for them to incorporate civic service with their different disciplines of education. You need to find it, and you will find it if you look for ways to help your neighbor. Okay?